guys, I'm Adri from Adri's shop. I've got a little gingerbread business that I'm decorating gingerbreads with royal icing. And a lot of you ask me how do I do royal icing, and I figured I might as well just show you. In Australia it's a bit different. The weather is very unpredictable. Sometimes we have a lot of humidity in the air and the ingredients work differently each day. So I thought I will show you a little bit of how I do it. There's not wrong way or good way. Everybody might have a different tactique. Today it's all about how I do it, and hopefully you will find this information useful. With the royal icing, you can use hand mixer, and it's perfectly fine. I used to use it all the time, works just as easily, till I bought myself a KitchenAid, and it's a fantastic machine and always gives you best result. But again, doesn't matter whether you use a hand machine or get it mixed automatically. Just depends what works best and whether you've got it available. With the royal icing, it's based with egg whites. You can use fresh eggs, perfectly fine, but there is a risk of salmonella, and if you are selling your product, best to avoid probably raw eggs. For home it's probably perfectly fine. I used to use it when I was a little, when I grew up. We always used just the egg whites, and nothing wrong with that. You can do that if you like. Or you can also buy pasteurized egg whites. Probably eBay is the best way to look at. I used to use it as well. You just need to soak the powder in a little bit of water, and then I usually sift it, and then you continue on just as if you had normal egg whites, and just put icing sugar into the egg whites. Another option for you. What I've learned after all of my trials, I found meringue powder works probably the best for me. Always gives you fantastic results. Has a little bit of a vanilla smell into it. And this one is by CK Products. It's an American brand, but you can find it in Australia. Spotlight is probably one place that you can buy it, or you can buy it on my website. I've got a few available. Just go to adrisshop.com and you will find them available there as well. Fantastic, always works really well. So that's what I use. Up to you, you can try different things and work out what's best for you. So today I'm going to show you how I do it. I'm going to use the KitchenAid. Before I do anything, I like to spray the bowl with a little bit of water, just so we don't have anything stuck on the bottom of the bowl or any sugar. So it's nice to either spray it with some water, or you can just rinse it up. It's fine. Now the meringue powder has got the instructions at the back how to use it, so you can follow those instructions, and I'll just show you how I do it. First, I use half a cup of water. I just use filtered water and pour it straight into the bowl. Then I go straight for the meringue powder and use quarter of a cup. If you like, you can use it you can mix it in a separate bowl, and you can sift it after it's all been combined, just to prevent any lumps in your royal icing. It's probably a good way to do it, but today I'm just going to go straight in. Usually the mixer mixes it up really well, so you don't have any clogging happening when you're piping your royal icing. So yeah, you can sift it if you like. Today I'm just going straight into the machine and mix it up. Just pop it in. Now I use this part to mix my royal icing. Again, you can use the other part which has got the spiral. The reason why I'm using this one, it just stops creating any air bubbles. You probably don't want many air bubbles in your royal icing. So to avoid that or reduce the air bubbles, it's probably best to use one of those. Here we go. And then we just start quite slow and just build up the speed gradually. Just want to combine it first before we go faster. And just let it go for a couple of minutes. If you start seeing that it's building up on the sides, you can stop and use a spatula just to get rid of some of the lumps. Looking good. I'm just going to help it a little bit off the sides just to make sure everything gets combined together. Just can leave it for a couple of minutes, 2-3 minutes. You can go and run up and do something while it's doing all of that. That's a good thing about KitchenAid. You can walk out of it for a little while and come back, and it's looking pretty good. Yep, that's looking pretty good to me now. Now with the sugar, for my royal icing I use this icing mixture by CSR. The reason why I use it is gluten-free, and it's also very pure. You don't need to sift it as much or do anything, and it's pretty much pour it straight in. Again, up to you. There's no wrong or there's no wrong way to go. I mean, a lot of people do use just a normal pure icing sugar. You can go with that as well. It just has often I find lumps in there, and it's a bit hard. It needs to be sifted, and just to save a little bit of time, this is the way I do it. I go for the mixture. It works really well. It does have a little bit of maize starch in it, so when you look at the ingredients, it does have maize starch and tapioca, but it always gives me fantastic results, so I go with that. I'm not actually measuring the icing sugar. Depends what the humidity is doing on the day, so you sometimes end up putting a different amounts of the sugar into your egg mixture. If it's a dry day, you probably might not use as much, so it really depends what the weather is doing, so I like to just add it as I feel like it. What I'm looking for is I'm trying to get a really thick consistency of the icing, and then I can dilute it with my water depending on what I'm decorating or what I'm using it for. So I just go straight in. I end up usually using about three quarters of a kilo, but I just start with half a kilo first of whole, and I don't sift it. I just go straight in. It's nice and pure. Don't think it needs it. We just go slowly so it doesn't end up all over our face, and build up the speed from there. Again, if you've got a few bits of sugar, if you've got some stuff building on the sides, just give it a quick wipe or spray with the bottle of water. Just spread around, just so the sugar doesn't get stuck on the sides. And I just spread a bit of sugar to go in. And again, build up the speed as you go. It's getting thick, you can even hear it, the machine is cooking. It's getting perfect. And now again you can walk out, do something while it's going. Leave it for 2 to 3 minutes or longer. Doesn't really matter too much. And again, I'm looking for really nice and thick consistency. It's a bit of sugar building up on the sides again, so I'm just going to spray it around. Works really well. Just a little bit more sugar in here. Nearly there. So it's getting nice and thick now. Just let it have a really good mix now. Beautiful. I just want the peaks to hold, so it's pretty thick. It doesn't fall out very easily. So you want that sort of consistency, nice and thick. So just put it on the side. Nice and thick, pretty much. So just wipe your sides, stir it all together, give it a little stir. And again, what I like to do is again spray the sides, just so you don't create any crusts happening on the sides, and then it falls into the icing, and again it can create bits that are getting stuck in your piping bags. Not really good thing. So to prevent that as well, it's good to have a nice kitchen towel, nice and clean one. And make it wet, nice and wet, squeeze all the water out, and then just cover your roller icing with damp cloth. That will prevent to dry on the top or creating the crust on the top, so this will keep it nice and safe from drying out. And you can leave it to set for a little bit. I like to just let it sit for a little bit before I start using it. You can give it a little bit of banging on the bottom just to get any air bubbles out popping. And yeah, it's pretty much ready to use. It will keep, if you want to leave it overnight, you can leave it out. Doesn't need to be refrigerated. But yeah, the best is probably to use fresh icing. The fresh icing works best. If you do use it the next day, it's good to give it another stir and just mix it for a little bit, just for a couple of minutes, because the water does start to separate. So if you want to, just give it a nice mix before you use it again. And then, yeah, that's my royal icing. If you do like, I do a lot of workshops that you can sign up for and come and see demonstrations how to decorate. That's the next step. So if you do like, have a look at my website, www.adressshop.com, and you can find some workshops for children and adults. And hopefully this information was useful, and I might see you at one of my workshops. Hope this helps. Have a great day.